Hey, this is Jake.
This is Tim.
We're the East Pointers.
And you're listening to the Leak and Review.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the Leak and Review.
All right, we're back. Another episode of the Leak and Review. First of all, thanks for all the shares. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the love. If you already haven't done it, just do a quick little click and hit subscribe because it goes a long way in making sure the algorithm finds who we are and what we're up to. And drop a comment too. Who would you like to see on the Leak and Review? At the Leak, if you want to follow me on the socials, and you can go check out our YouTube page, Shed of Dreams. That's the production company that takes care of this program and a number of others. All our videos are going up over there and getting quite a bit of attention as of late. So if you want to go check that out while you're checking out all of this stuff, that's great too. This episode is with our pals, the East Pointers. They have a new album called Schoonertown. Schoonertown, named after boats. PEI. Tim Chaisson being from PEI. Jake is out of Barrie, so not a lot of schooners there. There's boats. We get into talking about festivals. Not just festivals that the band plays, but festivals that the band even produces. And the East Pointers, going on 11 years this year, a band that formed out of therapy for their cousin Cody. And I've met cousin Cody years ago. I want to say almost 20 years ago. Met him in Austin, Texas. Tim Chaisson brought Cody out to play banjo on his singer-songwriter stuff. We talk a lot about that and how therapeutic it was for the East Pointers to form without the idea of it actually becoming a real band. It was, we can go record some songs and provide some wellness for everybody. And, well, things just took off. We talk a lot about the community, and wait till you find out how many cousins these guys, and by these guys I mean Tim Chaisson and Cody, have. The numbers are fake. They gotta be fake. It's a good one. The East Pointers on this episode of the Leak and Review.
Where there's a heartbeat and a stage, there's an artist set to perform. This is the Leak and Review on tour.
Brought to you by the Pecan Agency, connecting fans with bands worldwide. On tour all spring with Alan Doy. Go check out the East Pointers everywhere from St. John's right through to Victoria. That'll be a good time. Kerrville, Texas. You get time with the East Pointers coming up late May at the Kerrville Folk Festival. And a bunch of other festivals coming up, including the ones that the guys work on. So lots going on with that. If you want tickets, ticketmaster.ca, the East Pointers, and go join them out on the road. The East Pointers on this episode of the Leak and Review.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Jake.
This is Tim.
We're the East Pointers.
And you're listening to the Leak and
Do
Review.
you want me to tell you a horror story about that?
I don't know if I do want to hear this.
Yeah. We just played a festival in Florida, and
Where in Florida?
yeah.
So I can see it in the map.
where was it, Jake? Dunedin?
Dunedin.
Is that where it was?
Yeah.
Close to
Dunedin.
Dunedin.
Okay, so that is where spring training is for a lot of baseball teams.
That's right.
Blue Jays have spring training.
Yeah, that's
there.
right. Yeah, Blue Jays. Yeah, and the sound guy. Anyways, we didn't take our sound guy on the trip. We were like, we're gonna try to make more money on this trip. Anyway, wrong choice because the sound guy had his phone Bluetooth to the main speakers at this festival, and we were playing, and he was scrolling on his phone, and Instagram videos were going through the main PA.
Oh,
and
the audio from the phone is
audio
playing
from
through
the phone.
PA.
And I was like, that sounds strange. It sounded terrible to begin with. He was a terrible sound guy. And then I was like, and then it stopped. And then it happened again a couple of minutes later. And we had to stop playing. And I had to ask him, like, is your phone maybe hooked up to the speaker? And of course he was trying to backpedal as
You
if,
got the wrong guy.
yeah, you got the wrong guy. And he's like, yeah, no, geez, I don't know what it is. He's trying to cover himself. And it was just, horrible.
Nice festival though.
Nice festival.
Nice
We
people.
won't say what the festival was.
Yeah, you remember that
Really
festival
good
in
people.
Dunedin? If you're going there next fall, it'll be the same place that it was last year.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
no,
that's, yeah.
Bluetooth is going to get people fired because I've heard of people going to parties and someone's got the Bluetooth, their phone synced up to the speakers, and they go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's porno playing through the house, but the person's in the bathroom, not knowing
That's
that
worst case scenario.
porno
there.
is playing through the house. And I imagine that that's going to start happening in the offices too. We're just so synced and connected. I
Yeah.
mean, you ride transit and you can look over someone's shoulder and it's like, what are you looking at, dude?
It's
So
very bizarre.
for me, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The East Pointers are in Toronto during a snowstorm. Weather conditions, we'll call it, in Toronto. Tim and Jake are here. And I honestly, I didn't think twice about not having the conversation with you guys today, because being from the East Coast, your level of what a snowstorm is and or storm is wildly different than most other parts of the earth.
Yeah.
And so sure, there might be 35 centimeters of snow on the ground here. If you're in the East Coast and in PEI especially, you'll still go out and cut the grass in weather like this. So there was nothing that was going to stop me to do this. But I'm glad you guys made it. You're here.
Very
I
happy
understand
to
that
be
you actually drove downhill from like a real wintry land earlier today.
Yeah.
We
Very.
did. Yeah, we came down from my parents' place in Barrie. Just slid downhill the whole way.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone in Barrie, Ontario the other day, and they were saying, have you not seen the news? Like, there is so much snow here. I'm like, first of all, why would I have Barrie news? Like,
Does anybody care what happens in Barrie?
You're not
what
watching the Barrie
circle do you think I'm in that this is on I better get caught up to date on what's going on in Barrie? But this individual, she sent me some pictures. I'm like, oh wow, there's actually real weather there.
Yeah, there's a few cars like just spinning tires on the highway.
The snow belt, man.
Yeah.
You guys, though, having traveled the world as mentioned, I think there's still some territories that remain untouched on your clicking off the map thing. But man, you've probably seen some crazy things on the road where it's like, oh, haven't seen a semi go airborne before. That's a neat one.
Yeah, there's definitely been some crazy things. I feel like Australia has the most.
Yeah, pretty extreme down there in
things.
general. Yeah. I mean, weather related, like forest fires, and we've been in the middle of
we
some
were in the
pretty
middle
crazy
of
stuff.
some fires in Tasmania in like I think it was 2017 that we were playing a show. It was like way out in the country, and it was like kind of like a big town hall kind of venue.
This is when the East Pointers are like 1 year old.
1 year old, yeah. It was pretty early on, and we had gone to Tasmania, and they kind of warned us, like, there's a lot of fires going on at the moment.
And devils.
Yeah, and the
devils.
devils are there. We saw some devils, and lots of kangaroos and wallabies, and
But they warned you saying, hey, there's a lot of fires that are happening.
yeah,
Like, you might not
82
want to go.
actually.
there was 82 fires. We actually wrote a song with the girl we were on tour with at the time because it was it was crazy. And this show that we were playing, they said, if you want to still come, like the fires are really close, like our town is on like complete watch, like emergency vehicles and everything. If you want to come, we'll do the show. But if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to go ahead with it. And
They had a helicopter just waiting outside the gig just in case, like an evacuation.
And it was pretty wild. Like everybody in that town was like on edge. And then we, hopefully provided a good time for everyone. Like they all let loose and had a good time, and everybody, it was okay. The wind changed direction and the town was okay. It was like crazy.
Jeez, talk about rolling the dice. Like, yeah, the wind changed direction. So, otherwise we had 15 minutes notice to get on the copper.
No, it's a different kind of extreme, like to what obviously we're used to here in the winter, but it was like, not used to that situation.
Did you smell like campfire for the rest of
Oh
the tour?
yeah, it was wild, like the smoke for sure.
And like
Yeah.
just
The
in,
red
in your
sun.
vehicle, in your clothing, and you can't get rid of it.
Pretty much. Yeah, and they just recommend everyone to stay inside as much as possible, basically. But
I was at a
anyway.
festival that was in British Columbia, and they had a lot of forest fires in the area. And I came back to the hotel after being on site of the festival, and you didn't realize just how much ash
Oh, yeah.
and stuff had dropped on the ground. And what happened was I went in the morning. First I get back to the hotel, I have a shower, go to bed, everything's good. Wake up in the morning, and my bathroom looked like a crime scene because of all this soot and ash and stuff like that I didn't even know that I was carrying around. They probably had to repaint, and the towels were definitely done forever. But yeah, weather and traveling in a band is like a real thing, and it probably is, like you said, it's inspirational in a sense because you do end up writing some songs about it.
Yeah, no, we did. We wrote what we felt like was a cool song, I guess, after it. It actually happened shortly after when we were in, not much longer, in Oregon. We were playing a festival, and they actually canceled the festival because the fire was so close. And getting back up to Portland from Sisters, Oregon was like one highway, and they're like saying it might be closed. And we're like, Jesus, are we going to friggin' survive this or what?
Look at this guy walking
Just
down the
play.
street with a snowboard
Nice.
down the Danforth.
Yeah, I
That's
respect
great.
the parents who have their kids walking around on sleds and pulling them on sleds.
It's interesting in a big city like Toronto, any major city where you do get a little bit of weather, how you have so many crazy dynamics of how people operate. Like I have some neighbors who don't know which end of the shovel to use, like which end do you hold and which end do you not? And then there's others who are just like, yeah, we can build a house in this weather. It's not a problem whatsoever. Let's get into this whole songwriting thing and East Pointers. There's a new album. It's called Schoonertown. I thought it was a pub related thing until I looked at the back of a dime and I saw, oh wait, it's actually about living in PEI and the boats, schooners. I just thought it was like the Australian pint glass.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because I'm not smart.
No, not at all. I think there's going to be definitely different people will view it. I think whenever we came up with the title, we weren't sure what everyone would instantly think of, but we like, being from PEI and a seaside little town, I think the whole idea had kind of come from, somewhat of the challenges, and it's a bit of a concept album, I guess, about that kind of follows like a lobster fisherman who's struggling and gets through it eventually. So, the schooner, the pint in Australia, obviously the boat.
And the beer on the East Coast.
The East Coast
Old
beer actually, and where I'm from in Surrey, PEI, it's like schooner beer. I think is it's where they sell the most schooner beer. If you're a kid that's trying to get liquor from the store, it doesn't matter what you ask the adult for, they come back with schooner beer. That's the type of town that I grew up in. So
It's you're welcoming to alcohol. Enjoy, you 14-year-olds.
Yeah, warm, very very warm schooner beer.
Wait a minute, is that a thing that people want to have?
No, there were no fridges at the Surrey liquor store, but now there is. So
okay, so
the
it's
kids,
not like
the kids are okay.
It's best to be drank warm as opposed to
no. It's definitely not recommended, but that's the option.
You know who used to drink warm beer and had it on his rider, like specifically as warm beer, was Stompin' Tom Connors.
Oh yeah, I have heard that before actually.
Like, and he wanted warm Moosehead beer, and at his funeral, which they had at the I don't know if they had two funerals or one, but they had a thing at the arena in Peterborough or whatever.
Yeah.
If you knew Stompin' Tom, they gave you a warm beer when you walked in.
Oh,
and they're like, here, you got to crush this in honor of Tom. And after that, you can become more civilized and drink colder beers and enjoy your thing. But he also did a thing too, where he would book his tour based on like lunch, dinner, and stops along the way. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to be in the car or the bus for 7 hours. Let's go for 2 hours, stop at this diner, cruise a few drinks, then get back on the road, cruise for a few more hours, and then find dinner somewhere along the way. Like, it wasn't very budget friendly as far as a tour goes when you have your entire crew pulling over every 2 hours. But
yeah, I've heard some pretty interesting stories. I know some guys that had played in his band, and pretty cool.
But you say this album, Schoonertown, is about a lobster fisherman who kind of lost his way, found his way. Isn't there like fishing all throughout the entire family?
Yeah,
or the families?
Yeah. Lobster fishing, especially in tuna, are kind of the biggest, the biggest catches, I guess you could say. My brother does really well as a lobster fisherman. But yeah, it's definitely weaved into the culture there. And it is interesting. It's like, I know, Cody, who had played in our band and we still consider him a part of the band. He passed away a few years ago. He was a lobster fisherman for a while as well. And he fished with his brother, and it was, a big part of like, and honestly, the album is a bit like, is somewhat loosely based upon Code and his story. And it's like, the struggles that come along with it, and also just the culture that comes along with lobster fishing. And,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. And there's obviously a whole language that happens out there in the water that I don't even understand. It's, it's interesting, but there's, the generations of not unlike fiddle players, of drinkers and fiddle players and drinkers and fishermen. And then just also this whole album is also a little bit about like breaking away from that and finding your way, I guess. But yeah, no, it's quite a thing.
Yeah, learn to play fiddle. Don't they just give you a case of beer and say, figure it out?
Yeah, pretty much. I know it's kind of true there. Like, I guess technically I'm an 8th generation fiddle player, my dad tells me. And it's like, the fiddle player was always had to be at the dances to play for the people to dance. And, they were always just paid in booze. That was like that's how they got paid. So, they all turned into alcoholics, but and they call the fiddle the devil's instrument as well. It's like cursed. So but I don't think I'm cursed yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
it's an interesting instrument too, because there's not a lot of instruments out there where it's like, first let's jam this up against your neck. And then,
very true.
And
it's
now,
awkward.
Now we're going to put strings on it. So should one of these strings go awry, you might lose an eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's very hard to play without one of the strings. Yeah.
Back to the album being about, a lobster fisherman losing his way. How did you guys stay off the boats? How did you guys stay off the rigs and stuff growing up on the East Coast? Because it's kind of job number one, right? Boating and rigs. And then next thing you know, you're on the pipeline in Alberta, it seems. Yeah, no, it's true. I know there's one point in my life where every one of my friends was out west and then would come home and fish or, but for me, I think, honestly, I played music from a young age, and I played the fiddle, and I would play at like anything at home, like Kaylee's or benefit concerts, whatever. So I just, I didn't do it.
It was pretty easy to stay off the lobster boats in Barrie, Ontario.
Yeah, right.
But true. For Code, it was music that kind of got him out of the fishing. And out of he went out west for quite a while too, quite a few years, and then got busy playing the banjo with this band, and that was kind of what changed his course, I think. But
yeah, definitely.
But
not that you should change
with you though, Tim, early, because you were doing singer-songwriter as Tim Chaisson, and then I think you brought Cody out with you to add a little flavor and color.
Yeah.
And then it was the East Pointers wasn't the East Pointers like a band that formed really as therapy for everyone?
Yeah, totally. It was for Code, like I had taken him out on the road with me. He was just starting to gain confidence as a musician, even though he was unbelievably talented.
Didn't he have a stutter or a little bit of a lisp?
Yeah. I didn't even really notice it, but he did for sure. Like I think that was something that one of the first things that he kind of struggled with, but he got.
It's tough with confidence if you have a speech impediment.
Yes,
for sure.
Definitely. And whenever he, like we were out on the road together, and then, he basically was, diagnosed bipolar, and he had a few episodes where it wasn't great, and he was in and out of the hospital, and then he decided to quit, alcohol, drugs, everything, all of it on his birthday, on his like 28th or 29th birthday maybe. And then, it totally, changed everything for him. And then it was shortly after that like, cause we had all known each other, and we kind of joked about starting a band, like the three of us, because we just all got along so great and loved, trad music and Celtic music. And it was probably just a few months later, after Code had gone through all that he was living with me, and it was pretty pretty tough. He was having a tough time, and I called Jake. I was like, man, you got to come to PEI and we got to do something because Code's struggling. And I think the only thing that's going to get him through is like making some music together. So then we started the East Pointers right basically then.
But it wasn't like really, was it really a band at that point, or was it let's just hang out as family therapy, and then it just kind of grew?
Yeah, we just recorded an EP that weekend, did 6 instrumental sort of traditional Celtic tracks, and didn't really know where it would go or didn't have any expectations with it. But
and Jake, you're on the keys.
I was playing just mostly guitar back then. It was pretty acoustic, guitar, fiddle, and banjo. And we just got an opportunity to go to Australia through Chloe, who was just starting to date Cody around that time, which was pretty convenient for the band.
Isn't Chloe from Australia?
Chloe's from Australia, and was a big part of the Woodford Folk Festival, which is an amazing, large music festival.
So you got booked because of nepotism?
Well, I'd actually been to the festival maybe 2 years before that. And then I met Chloe, and then Chloe and Cody met, and then Chloe was like, "Oh yeah, like it'd be," they were chatting at the ECMAs that spring, and she was
East Coast
like,
Music Awards.
"Yeah,
people understand.
the East Coast Music Awards," and Chloe was like, maybe I don't know, a few months after, because we were like, there was definitely a spark between Cody and her. They ended up getting married, obviously. Maybe that's not obvious in the story, but they did end up getting married. Yeah, and she was like, I think there was a love interest, and also like, you guys should come and play at this festival, and I'll book some other things. And whenever we went that December, it was like, we were like, oh man, this is like, we should do this as a full-time thing.
We had a pretty exciting energy because Code had just like quit drugs and drinking, and he just channeled all his energy into playing the banjo in this band, this little project. So it was like, it was pretty tightly wound.
It was.
He was good at banjo. Did he get a lot better once he quit the drinks and the drugs?
Yeah, he was always really good. He was always crazy talented, but he definitely he went pretty hard at it. And he was like, honestly, I mean, in my opinion, I know it's a bit biased, but I think he was one of the best players in the world at the tenor banjo. And it was like he was so good and wrote so many great tunes. Yeah.
So he ends up with this woman who's involved with the festival in Australia. He then says, hey, they want to book us to go to Australia. Jake, Tim, are you saying at that point, this is just so you can go be with your lady friend and it's going to put us, the rest of the band, in the poorhouse because there's really not that big of an opportunity or did you catch wise and go, no, it seems like it's legit?
Yeah, no, it was legit. Chloe is probably the most amazing human that, she's incredible. She really took care of all of us. Yeah.
And is so good at her job. I don't think she would have booked us just because of the love interest. Hopefully she saw something in our little project that she thought was worth bringing down. Maybe.
And then sadly, Cody passes away like, I think 4 years ago now, maybe.
Yeah. 4 years ago.
And it was like a heart condition, wasn't it? Like,
an aortic aneurysm. Yeah. Totally out of the blue.
Right.
Totally out of the blue.
And crazy because you're on the path to wellness. And it's just how something like that just kind of happens. Like, screw you, world.
Oh, I know. It is crazy because he, like, we often say, like, leading up to that happening, it was like the best version of Code that we've seen. Like, there's been so many. We toured in the UK a few, maybe 2 months before that had happened, and it was like just coming out of COVID. It was the end of 2021, and in the UK everything was kind of open at that point. So we had gone and it was like the best that he's played, and like his confidence on stage. We were just like, man, like this is. Code's doing great.
He's doing really
like,
well. Yeah.
And it, like you say, it's like a cruel world whenever something like that happens to somebody who's like finally feeling like much better.
East Pointers, I wish you guys kind of made something up, and maybe you can talk to your publicity about this, but I wish that if anybody asked you why your name is the East Pointers, that you say, we only travel east, which means every tour date we have to circumnavigate the earth.
Yeah,
I think it could be a real big selling point. But the band plays on, right? The band, there's albums that are released. There's, touring goes on, and that now it's kind of like in a new version as bands evolve. Right? Yeah, you have to evolve as a band because you don't want to write the same song about the same girl that you broke up with when you're in high school. what kind of version of the band would you say you are today? Like in terms of your sound, because genres now are such a mess. There used to be like 3, maybe 4 genres overall. Yeah. You would be country, you would be pop, you would be rock, and maybe we'll call it R&B. But after that, it was done. Now it's like everything has a hybrid or a subgenre of it. And I think it's hard for some people to grasp what any sound is. I always just say it's either a good song or it's a bad song.
Yeah.
People don't know if it's a country band anymore until it gets labeled that. So where are you in that? How would you describe the East Pointers in today's world? Because it sounds very poppy. You know, the loops that are being played. I was listening to some stuff earlier today and I was like, oh, this is a different Tim Chaisson that I've come to know over the years.
Yeah. What would you say? I feel like we always played around with mixing like, you know, traditional sounds and Celtic sounds with like modern like production. I think with this one we did it all. We in Jake's studio basement, like we wrote all of it and produced it, and Jake engineered, and it was, I think with that process, it was like really just having the time to play around with the songs and experimenting with different sounds, but also trying to keep it the base of it feel like organic and acoustic. And what would you say?
Do you take the songs or songs written and then you say, okay, let's go back into the studio and see where we can mess with this song, and let's see if we can make it this crazy techno song and all the way down to like a speed metal song or whatever? Because I think a lot of people do play with that stuff now in studios.
Yeah, a little bit. I think we often have an idea of where it's heading as we're setting out to write it. But we definitely, on this one, we messed around with a lot of the tones of the, like, you know, running Tim's acoustic fiddle through an amp to get like a distorted sound. And there's a lot of that like sort of pop production on traditional instruments, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it, like you say, like you can take a song and anywhere, like with the tools that like you have, you can take it anywhere. And at some point you have to be like, oh, okay, that's too far. Like, let's strip it back to where it was. But like we have a track on there that's like just acoustic guitar and just fiddle, and then kind of growing it from there essentially.
That was a big test, I think, without having a producer on this one, doing it ourselves, was just trying to decide when a song's finished. You know, you get to a point.
Yeah, usually having the producers like, okay, stop.
Yes.
It's done.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard all sides of it where people like working with producer because it pushes them.
Yeah.
And it gets the band to think from a different angle. And then the other side is, well, we already know enough about us and we can do it ourselves. And
yeah.
I appreciate the confidence on all sides, as long as you walk away from it and going, oh, wow.
Yeah.
We did something.
Yeah. I think we definitely grew a lot during this whole process because, like you say, we've always, like, we worked with Derek Hoffman on our last 2 EPs, and he's a Toronto guy who's amazing. And Gordy Sampson on the last ones before that, an East Coaster. And, I think with this one, you're kind of you really have to like dig in and at the mental capacity to, I'm talking like it's brain surgery. It's not that complicated, but it's like, you really have to dig in and it's like, cause the product going out the door, it's like, you can't say, oh, that was the producer or that was the co-writer. It's like just us. So yeah, we really put the time and effort into making it as good as we could, I guess.
So you got a complete album, because when you go record, like say the raw of it, and then you're kind of locked in a studio for weeks, months, whatever it is, just kind of refining it, producing and putting extra flares and flanges or whatever it is that you're doing. That's me not knowing a thing about the music industry. You could hear my words coming out. It's like, what does he mean? Like, welding? Why would you weld a song? But then it's like, okay, you got this album. Was there a moment where you go, oh, crap, we recorded it this way. How are we going to bring that to a room now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we've done that in the past, working with Derek. I think after we lost Code, we had a whole slew of songs that we wrote with Cody and had already recorded. And we didn't think that we were going to keep playing. We weren't sure what we were going to do. And certainly getting on stage without Cody was not even in the realm of possibility. So whenever we wanted to get the songs out, we realized that was step number one. We were just like, let's just let's just put whatever on it and just make the songs as best as they can be, because we don't know if we're ever going to play them live. But for this album, we really had it in mind that we would like to be able to play everything as closely as we could. Obviously, there's lots of overdubs of things, but we have a fairly good handle-ish on playing them live. But
we'll see. Yeah. Early days, the new album Schoonertown, available now. 10 years of these pointers.
10 years, 11 years this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, rolling into 11 years. Yeah.
And festival dates all over the place. It seems like you're just like the perpetual festival folk, constantly on the road playing another weekend. Are you at least seeing other bands when you're at these festivals? Or are you like, let's get in and out of here before like the fire burns down this town?
Well, sometimes you're in and out, but we definitely try to make a point. Like, I feel like we're lucky to play so many great festivals, and
it's one of the best parts.
Yeah, seeing other bands,
discovering music, and
made a lot of friends in different bands along the way too. So try to.
Yeah. What do you guys listen to right now? Or who have you seen on the road where you're like, hey, this is really cool. I like that approach.
Oh gosh,
we just had Neon Dreams at our festival in September. And
your festival. Awesome. That's right.
Yeah, we started a festival. Crazy.
I love it. We have so many things going on. What can we do to make ourselves busier? Let's start a festival. Great idea.
Have a couple kids.
Yeah, it turns out it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
but it's been going pretty well.
But Chloe, actually, coming back to Chloe, she is incredible, and she's a big part of why that festival is successful.
Okay, when is your festival in PEI?
It's called Gula Hala, and it is September, the last weekend of September, and we just finished 3 years, right? Of it.
Third year, yeah.
What did you discover as a band yourself in creating your own festival about your own band? Are you super pretentious? Are you not asking enough questions? Are you being way too easy on all these promoters and stuff like that? Because I'm sure you're finding out some weird stuff about some friends that are in bands. You're like, whoa, you really think you need all
riders
that
come through, and you're like, oh man, come on, you don't need that.
Yeah,
which makes me think about our riders.
We've rewritten our requests after seeing.
No, it's a humbling experience. I work on another festival as well that my Cody and I's grandfather started. It's a fiddle festival, and it's going into 50 years this year. Actually, it's called the Rolla Bay Fiddle Festival. And so Cody and I and a bunch of there's probably, 8 of us, brothers and cousins that run that festival. And we took it over in 2016 after our uncle passed away.
Sorry, I like how you say, it's like there's 8 of us or whatever, brothers, sisters, cousins and all that stuff. Isn't there like 1,000 cousins that are all kind of in that range?
Yeah, Cody had 120 first cousins. Yeah, and we share like 50.
It's a breeding machine.
55.
That lineage. It's like, what are you doing tonight? Well, I was going to go to work, but I think I'll just stay home and breed.
Yeah,
it's a mill.
Yeah, we share 55 first cousins on our Chaisson side. There's a lot of us.
Tours all the time because no one can get a comp ticket anymore because it's costing the East Pointers too much money.
They come out of the woodworks. The cousins for whatever town you're in.
Okay, so you got this other festival.
So I was going to say that it's a humbling experience. Like I think whenever we took that over, it was like, oh yeah, it's easy. We can run. Can't be that hard to run a festival, and even a small like community event, like a 3-day camping festival. It was like, I thought my head was going to explode like right before the festival happened.
When you find out how much you got to pay for security, you're like, are you crazy?
Yeah. And just the logistics and people saying all the things that you did wrong that you could improve on. And you're like, so with Gula Hala, like having Chloe, who's like well experienced in event organization, she's a godsend, but it really makes you appreciate like going to festivals and being like, holy shit, the organization that went into this is like, because as a musician, if you have not organized your own show, like I highly recommend to try it.
Yeah, like somebody put up this fence, like all
putting up fencing.
Things. Yeah, all the little details.
I always say that if you're going to a festival for, let's say it's a weekend festival, on the first day as a patron, it's the day that you can get away with the most shit. Because nobody knows how to work at that festival yet. So you can just kind of walk up to anybody. It's like, I own the festival. It's like, go right this way, go backstage. How can we make you another steak, sir? By second day, they got that kind of locked down. They know that you're just some skid off the streets.
We're going to watch out for you at Gula.
I'll be there on Thursday just to make sure I get the right credentials.
Yeah.
East Pointers, tell me what is happening for 2026. We got the new album Schoonertown, named after boats. Let's be perfectly honest. Nothing to do with drinking in Australia. What do you got for 2026?
We're shortly heading to the UK and Ireland for a quick stint. And then we're on tour with Alan Doyle across the country.
What a riot.
Yeah, love that guy.
Like he is the mayor of late nights, as I understand, and just good times, easy going.
He's a great fella.
Amazing, yeah. Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
And then, a bunch of, I think there's a couple of U.S. festivals in the spring, and then mostly Canadian festivals this summer. And then
Just
some more touring
go.
in the fall. Yeah, pretty go. But like, we both have little ones, so it's not like, you look at it in paper and it looks like, do you see your kids? But it's like, it's all fairly well like packed, and logistically, it's
not like the old days. You can FaceTime them.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you like your iPhone at home? Yeah. This is what paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake, Tim, thanks for doing this. Really do appreciate
thanks
it.
for having us.
Thank you.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shadows